Hi, friends.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Were you talking to me or them?
Them.
Them. Classic. Me too.
I've seen you already.
I know, gosh, kill me. It is Wednesday, January 9th, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. We're celebrating in Christmas colors today. Look at us in our green and red.
Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it?
Wow. Yes, it is Wednesday, and we are having a great day thus far. We spent the morning over in Georgetown.
At the Pavilion.
The Pavilion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got everything at that place.
Amazing public fitness facility, and we are going to showcase them this week, later on this week, as we continue Resolution Week. And so we're going to talk about all the great fitness classes they have to offer. So watch for that story coming up on Friday.
We ended up playing pickleball.
That's right. We played some pickleball. We did everything. We did everything.
We did some silver sneakers activity.
We sure did. They didn't seem enthused that we joined their class. No, thank you guys if you're watching. Some of them might be watching right now. We had so much fun crashing the party. But yeah, some of them said they do 2 classes in a row. They'll do like that class, and they do a yoga class. Right. Anyway, we had so much fun. They have an awesome pool there. And yes, Resolution Week continues today, as you know, brought to you by the Kentucky Beef Council, which they hooked us up with some swag this week.
Beef.
My favorite thing are these beef sticks they gave us. They're delish. You want to? You ate yours yesterday. I saved mine.
I'll eat it. You hold it.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
on the show today?
On the show today, we are going to, our Resolution Week segment today, we are talking with a dietitian, and we're talking about healthy cooking oils and some different swaps you might be able to make.
This better taste good.
I know, they are going to taste good. She's going to make it taste good for you. So we're going to chat about that because healthy eating is a big resolution, and we want to help you down that avenue as well.
Also, we're going to take you over to Cynthiana because Bullard Manufacturing has got something special happening today, I believe, is the anniversary for them. 100 years the hard hat was invented.
Yeah.
They've been protecting noggins for a long time. And it's great. It's a legacy story, too.
It is. It
because
really is.
It was invented by the well, I think it was the great-grandfather. The great-great-grandfather started the company.
Started Bullard Manufacturing.
But the great-grandfather invented the hard hat, and she now is the CEO and runs the company. What I like it. How about that?
Yeah.
My grandfather invented the hard hat. Wouldn't that be fun?
No, he didn't.
No, my grandfather invented the hard head.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Because I heard my grandmother tell him that.
Right. Well, we had so much fun when we shot with them a couple of weeks ago, talking about the big 100-year anniversary they're celebrating, and they're doing something really cool. They're going to be trying to break a world record.
Don't get it. Don't get it
They'll
done.
get the record. Okay, so they're going to break the world record. We're going to tell you about that in a little bit.
At Rupp Arena.
Yeah, so they invented the hard hat, and we got to go see kind of how they do it and stuff.
In Cynthiana.
That's right. Right down the road. And then we're talking about the big wedding show this weekend in Lexington.
What's it called?
Diamond Rings and Pretty Things. You didn't think I knew, did you?
No, I was hoping you didn't.
You didn't know.
No, I didn't know. Why would I know? Well, all right, you ready to begin the hot topics?
Let's do it. We got a jam-packed show. Let's kick it off.
Here we go. Well, the brand new California Governor Gavin Newsom was halfway through his inaugural address Monday when his 2-year-old son wandered onto the stage.
Aww.
Newsom picked up his son and joked, "This is exactly how it was scripted." The toddler proceeded to hide behind the podium. His big brother and mom tried to coax him off the stage. Took a little bit, but they were able to get him off and then continue and turn the spotlight back on Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens. Everybody that has kids knows this kind of stuff happens, and I'm glad he rolled with it.
Probably was scripted.
A 2-year-old doesn't follow a script.
No, I guarantee. You can't trust politicians. They're always trying to humanize themselves so they don't look like the animatronic people that they are.
Right. They're not humans.
Well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to continue your line of thought. Is that not where you're going?
Well, I don't
They're
know.
lizard people. Have you heard that theory?
Yeah.
The lizard people.
Well, what is it? In the new Captain Marvel, I think they're what, Kree or Krull or something like that. Any of you geeks know? Got any geeks in here?
Jesse, come on.
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. A weatherman in upstate New York is defending himself after using a racial slur on live television. He's saying he did not use the racial slur. He just stumbled over some other words that made it sound that way, but other people are saying he did say it. So this is the weatherman that you're seeing right here. He is from a TV station in Rochester, New York. It happened on Sunday. After allegedly using a derogatory term while talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Park. The news weatherman says that that's not what he meant to say. He says the slur came out because he jumbled 2 words together, King and Junior, and it came out sounding like C-O-O-N is the word that he used that people,
What?
Yes. Clips of the newscast made the rounds on social media over the weekend. People were freaking out. The mayor of Rochester also called for his dismissal. As of Tuesday night, 27,000 people have signed a Change.org petition calling for his reinstatement, saying they believe him that he did not say it. The station says it stands by their decision to fire him. He got fired over this. He has come out, read his statement. He made a long statement. So what happened was he was talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Okay. And it sounded as if he said C-O-O-N. He is saying, I just said Martin Luther King Jr. really fast and I stumbled, which happens. Well, okay, but he was like, I would never ever use that language. I would never call Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay,
that.
but the people who work with him every day, they know his character, they know his background. They would, if they're vouching for the guy, other than the management who is apparently just going to acquiesce to
bending to the pressure.
But if other people go, if that's not him, then you know it's a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the guy. The guy could be a raging racist for all I know. Maybe he deserves to be fired.
And really,
but it seems like it could have been a mistake.
Yeah.
You're going to blow the guy out?
But 27,000 people are now saying they believe him and want him to get a job back. So I'd say if this station doesn't rehire him, somebody else
would.
will.
I would imagine. But I would imagine the people in his life know him. Who he
that
is
he wouldn't say that
as a person.
Yeah, he has said, I did not.
Crazy.
I would never. I know.
Okay.
If he did say it, come on, man, what the heck? But if he didn't say it,
does he?
This sucks for him.
Were there attributes in his life that would lead you to think, that's the way he is? Then, but I don't. I just know recently, in the past few years, we're so sensitive to anything that we want to be outraged. That's the most engaging activity Americans have now. What can I be angry about today?
What can we hate together?
Yeah, boy. Okay. Well, Clemson coach Dabo Swinney was
I love him.
Experiencing one of the greatest moments of his life. His team had just defeated Alabama and won the NCAA College Football Championship Monday night. They throttled them. That's when defensive lineman Christian Wilkins, I saw this, stuck his finger in his mouth. He didn't just stick his finger in his mouth. He gave him a wet willy. You can't see Swinney's face, but you can tell he got the message, whatever it was.
Oh, no.
Yeah, look at that. There we go. Right? He's doing a national interview. And he
Come on, man.
Okay, right. There you go, Coach.
Gross.
Well, Wilkins is also a senior, so it's not it's not like he can make him run or anything now.
What are you going to do? We done. He was the one that was sobbing after the game.
Yeah.
It was so sweet.
He didn't really have to come back for his It's very similar to what we saw with Josh Allen and Benny. Yeah. They came back and they played. He didn't have to do that, and he did. Because that guy's going to make money on Sundays.
Yeah. Yeah. It was worth it. I mean, just Clemson, class all around. Class all around. Fans seem to be digging John Travolta's new look. The actor posted this picture with his daughter on Instagram Monday.
Wow, his daughter's cute.
Wow. Yeah, she is. I mean, how could she not be? Both her parents are attractive.
I've never seen his daughter before.
Down, boy, down. A majority of his followers responded with praise, writing, "Looking good, you just keep getting more and more handsome. It's electrifying, Danny boy." It's unclear if this is going to be Travolta's permanent style or maybe he's doing it for a role. He looks great.
I like that look for him.
I do too. I love
hair on the bottom as opposed to the top.
That's right.
Yeah. It's the inverse. Remember when he tried to say Idina Menzel's name?
He said, Adele Dazeem. Oh, that was so bad. What award show was it? He just panicked.
Right. It was the Oscars, I think.
Was it the Oscars? And he tried to say Idina Menzel, and he just said Adele Dazeem.
I love Idina Menzel, by the way.
I do too. She's awesome.
She's unbelievably talented.
Yeah, she really is.
And I love her version of "Baby, It's Cold Outside."
Me too.
With Michael Bublé. Thank you, Jill.
So good. I love every version.
That tells you how far that movement is. The people trying to destroy "Baby, It's Cold Outside" when Jill Zwed loves it.
Jill isn't what?
Michael Bublé.
Jill loves
she didn't
loves
care.
The song.
He could sing "Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap" and she'd love it.
Yes.
What she's saying.
Alrighty, Lee loves it when we talk about the Royals, so here we go. Today's a big day for the Duchess of Cambridge. Kate Middleton is 37 years old today. Prince William's wife met her husband while at University of St. Andrews in 2001. Since then, the world has watched as she grew from a college student to become the wife of Britain's future king and the mother of 3 children. She is now the future Queen of England. She is so gorgeous. Happy 37th birthday. She looks so fit and young. I can't believe she's had 3 kids.
She will be the Queen of England, by the way.
I know, I said that.
But no, she won't have any power.
Right, of course, everyone knows that.
But Prince can't become a king unless he's direct lineage.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right, everybody, those are today's Hot Topics.